let's go through this. Ugh. These silly, sad women. All right. The Pretty Anti-Social Podcast is what they call themselves, but they should call it the Pretty Anti-Kiki Podcast because they just, they like to comment on my life and how I feel about things and who I am. And even though I've been nice to them, and I don't know if they just have nothing else to do, but they let their emotions get in the way of the actual facts much of the time, which is quite sad. Very sad indeed.
There's proof. Like, there's evidence. Yeah. So yes, do people lie about stuff like this, especially when things go bad, especially when they look bad, especially when there's a breakup or anything like that? Yes, absolutely. Men lie. Women lie. It happens. But Keanu has no reason to lie about this. No. I've seen people going, oh, fucking just because he's famous now, just because he went viral, she's coming. There's documentation. There's a charge. Like, there's a restraining order. Thethere's
order of protection.
What'd you say?
All of this stuff. I mean, it's out there. There's photos. It happened. You know, there's photos and documents, the whole deal. So this Trump impersonator guy who trolled Alec Baldwin, Keanu comes out because she's like, now wait, think about this. Think about it for a minute. This guy it becomes famous. You have to see his face everywhere. And this guy stomped on your hand until he broke your wrist. I mean,
I wouldn't be happy about that.
You gotta say something at that point. This guy goes viral. He's everywhere. He's all over the place.
Yes, bitch. Yes, bitch. I do. How dare you? How fucking dare you? Do you though? If it helps somebody else, yes, I need to say something. Are you fucking kidding me? What's wrong with you? Do you though? Back up, redneck, okay? Do you though? You're embarrassing yourself, my love. It's really sad to watch. I mean, we know you hate at least me. I just didn't realize you weren't a fan of all women. You know you saw every single fucking thing. You know he pled guilty to it. I have, my fucking. Would you like my medical records? My photos of my broken wrist? Like, what more? Do I need to say something? The answer, my love, is yes. You dumb, stupid, silly little cunt. Okay, how about that? Do you though? Don't fuck with me. How dare you?
I gotta tread super lightly with this, huh?
Yeah, you do.
Look, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know how this is super helpful other than dragging someone that obviously physically hurt her. Now look,
obviously, say this. Yes. So
obviously physical abuse of any woman by any man is not cool.
No, it ain't cool.
Nobody thinks that's okay. But it's just very odd to me that it's like this guy, is in the news for heckling Alec Baldwin, and all of a sudden that story shifts to, oh, but here are these pictures of me where he beat me up and broke my wrist. And
yeah. And it's not something I haven't talked about before. Is it hard for me to talk about? Yes. You should be ashamed of yourself. You slut-shaming redneck, okay? You should be fucking ashamed of yourself. You should tread lightly. You should tread lightly because you're making yourself look like, I don't know what. Should you though? Do you really need to talk about it? Should you? Should you come out with all the pictures? You know what? How about you say, you know what? That was really good for Keanu for coming out with that. I don't care how you feel about me because of your stupid, shitty show. You should say, if you were like a rational human being, Haley. It just came to me. Haley. Like, wow, that was a really... I hate calling myself Keanu. Brave Thompson. But how, yeah, that was a really brave thing to do. And maybe she was trying to help some other people. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. Put your hatred of me to the side. Don't try and fucking spin it. You're weird and gross and grody, down low, dirty, and awful. And this one, I think she says one thing that I like later, but we'll see.
Which, I don't know, I haven't seen anything on the wrist thing. I believe her. I don't know why she would lie about it, but I have seen the pictures of her face, you know, being bruised up and whatever, but it's just very strange. Like, as someone who has had stuff happen to her, domestic violence wise, it's not like I personally, and we're very different people, Keanu and I think you know that.
I'm so glad about that too.
But I would not be like, oh, hey, also he did all this. Like, it for me, it would re-traumatize me, I think. And it's something that's such a personal thing that it looks just like.
It's also the reason women don't come out about this, okay? It's a very difficult thing to do, but if it helps someone else, of course it's still traumatizing. But it's also like a weight lifted off my fucking shoulders that more people know about it. Do you think, like, I mean, honestly, like, you know, maybe not having to run into him at a fucking comedy club. People for 10 years have been trying to fucking do something about this person. And if I have to, like, I guess, be fucking, like, I guess, criticized by these two idiots, and that's the only, like, whatever, I guess I will be. Yeah, right. I also, I have to say, there was another New York Post article where Jason said that Alec Baldwin's wife ran after him or something. Ran after him like, oh, like, give me your phone. Like, and they didn't catch it or whatever. You know what? He is a violent felon, not once, but twice, by the way, with record sealed twice. His, you know, domestic violence thing with me, which he pled guilty to, did probation for. It's a fucking horrible thing that New York is a kind of plea where you can have that sealed. But according to Jason, he had another violent felony before me involving a kid. So if Alec Baldwin's wife was chasing after him, I'm sure that, like, maybe people should be able to know about, like, oh, the man that my wife was chasing after is a violent woman beating fucking felon. Do your research. Do your research. I know you watch my show, you ugly bitch, okay? I don't mean ugly. You're ugly inside. You're wrong. You're wrong. How dare you? How dare you?
Like vengeance, like, I'm going to get him back because he's in the news now. So let me bring up, and I'm not saying it's right. Like I said, no man should ever put his hands on a woman, but it's like, I don't know. To me, it's just, it gives me the icks.
No,
and I've heard a couple of clips from her whenever she was on, I guess MLC, and I think Stevie Lou was on there one.
You did not come out about it until you were forced to. Thank you, mommy. Him being out on the street with no remorse and his career somewhat intact, fuck him. And the redhead naysayer, these two need to shut up. They do. They do need to shut up. Do you think it's an easy thing for me to talk about? It gives you the ick. Well, you know what gives me the ick? Getting the shit kicked out of me, okay? And him being out around women. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. You guys look fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. And not just the way you look, just your insides and the things that you say. It's terrible. Awful thing to say.
Point. But I'm an abused woman. How dare you?
You know what else is a tell? And Gino and I were watching this earlier. It's her touching her face, her touching her hair. She's uncomfortable because she knows she's fucking wrong.
But it's like, I don't know. To me, it gives me the icks. And I've heard a couple of clips from her whenever she was on, I guess, MLC.
Well, what would you have me fucking do? It gives you the ick that I exposed a fucking violent, woman-abusing felon? Do you think that's easy for me to talk about? And believe me, I understand and I know what comes with this. These two, like I said, in a tweet that I posted, people will twist themselves into fucking knots to try and blind themselves to the actual facts that I'm presenting in front of you. You two are acting like fools. This happened to me. It sucked. It is traumatizing. Why now? Why come out with it now? I have talked about it before. I don't have as big a platform as the people that posted about it after the Alec Baldwin thing. And yes, of course I shared that. Why shouldn't I? And then when I got a message on Instagram from New York Post, of course, I'm going to tell them anything, because if it helps somebody else, then I don't care. It gives you the ick. You know, it gives me the ick, getting the shit kicked out of me. And watching that fucking loser accost celebrities and interrupt protests. And go viral for like when he honestly, and he shouldn't be fucking, and I've said this once, I'll say it again. Maybe people should know when they're being stalked by a shitty Trump impersonator that he's a violent, woman-beating felon. Not, I wasn't the first. I hope I'm the last. You two should be fucking ashamed.
And I think Stevie Lou was on there at one point. No. But I'm an abused woman. How dare you talk to me like that?
Yeah, exactly.
And stuff like that. And I'm like, look, man, you can't come out here and say a bunch of stuff and then hide behind your victim card. That's not cool. To me, that's so trashy and weak. And
you're trashy.
I don't know. I've got feelings on it.
Yeah. Well, I think what it is using that, but then also using others people's trauma or something that they're going through as an attack on them.
Oh, why? Because I said Stevie Lou, I went,
like,
hey,
when the MLC stuff, like,
God,
she's like, oh, I'm a victim of this, and then just throwing like a divorce or something in his face. It's just like,
right.
That's a divorce. It happens all the time. And also Stevie Lou, do you know Stevie Lou came into the In Hot Water chat yesterday and said, I wish Jason Scoop had finished the job? Suck my dick. Me calling him divorceo. A divorce is not as traumatic as what happened to me. I'm sorry, it's not. Suck my dick. He literally commented that in the chat. I wish Jason Scoop had finished the job. And so what? Oh, well, you're going to throw his trauma of his divorce in his face? Good. I'll do it again. Stevie Divorceo Drug Dealing Lou. Know what you're talking about before you comment on it, or else I will continue to do this, you dumb bitches.
Came on. The very first thing she said was, oh, hi, divorcee. And then he said something back to her, and then she hid behind I'm an abused woman. How dare you talk to me like that? It's like, no. you ran up here on the playground talking shit. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just, it gives me the icks. It should never happen to anybody. I hate that it happened to her. It should never happen to any woman. I'm not like victim shaming at all. I just think it's very strange.
Yes, you are. You literally are.
Going on that was not related in any way. In the news, and then she tags New York Post 3 or 4 times to get their attention so that she can get her. It just feels like more of the same, more of the same, like opportunistic.
It's not opportunistic. I tagged them. Of course I fucking tagged them. That's not why they reached out to me. They reached out to me because of the viral video that was posted over and over and over again. It was Laura High's video. She's a comedian. And then Ethan Trace posted it and did another thing on it. That's why they reached out to me. Excuse me for tagging them in with proof of this in articles where he was accosting Alec Baldwin. Okay. Ooh. Do you think that's what I want to be known for? Do you think that's what I want to be known for? Getting the shit kicked out of me by a shitty Trump impersonator? Like you said, you should tread lightly. You dim-witted fucking redhead. And you should. You really should, because you're looking like a fucking asshole.
And I'm sorry, but it's just like when there's so many things.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, what does she get out of it? And maybe it helps her through that trauma. Like I see both sides of the coin. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's helping her to, I don't know, sort of sit in it and
right. Well, and also, you have this guy who's also trying to make his name a name for himself in like this space and stuff, and maybe like wanting people to be like, yeah, don't praise him too hard because he's a piece of shit.
Again, like, okay,
thank you.
Like that's
what is
obviously he's not great at all. Not
he's a piece of shit. Also trying to make his name a name for himself in like this space and stuff, and maybe like wanting people to be like, yeah, don't praise him too hard because he's a piece of shit.
Thank you. I knew that the other one had something good to say. Yeah, don't praise him too hard because he's a piece of shit. Look what he did to me. How is this so hard to understand? But this one with the red hair, you just can't get over your hatred of me. But this one had something poignant to say. Don't praise him too hard because he's a piece of shit. Look what he did to me. People should fucking know about it. Do you think I just like, oh my God, I'm just so happy that pictures of my fucking bruised ass face and all the court records are all out there everywhere. Like, I know I did it. I know that I gave them to Laura High. I know that I gave them to New York Post. I know I posted about it, but that is to help fucking other people. You dumb twats. I wasn't the first. I hope I'm the last, but I don't even know if I was the last. Do better. Do fucking better.
But again, okay, like that's, and obviously he's not great at all, not a good person, especially when it comes to relationships. And Keanu apparently is not the only one that he got physical with. But then in the same way, it's like, I don't know, it just feels very strange to bring up.
Is
it not be for a bigger reason? Okay. And like I say, I'm trying to play both sides of the coin. If it helps her through her trauma, okay, sure. But from what I understand, like even those records are sealed. So it's not something where like if you were looking into him, you would find this information.
Yeah. So why? That's why I brought it up, dipshit.
I don't know. It's just weird. Just stop hiding behind the victim card. That I don't like. I'm
not hiding behind it. I'm full out. Hey, hello, it's me, Keanu. It's Thompson. I'm a victim at the hands.
I was just saying, like,
who's hiding?
like how things get sealed, especially with something like that. If it's like a domestic violence type of issue, like how can something like that get sealed? Like you would,
it really fucking sucks, doesn't it? But look at me, I saved it, and I'm letting people know about it. So how could you possibly fucking like come at me and say it gives you the ick? Do you want to go to one of his shows? Not that he'll have any. Do you want to be accosted by him on the street? Say your fucking shitty podcast got that he went there. Haley and Jackie like walked up to you in the street? Or would you rather know that this guy's a violent fucking felon? A woman abusing felon. So you two bitches can thank me. Sorry that I gave you the ick. It's not an easy subject to talk about. But you can keep your blinders on because of your hatred of me, but I don't give a fuck. Ugh.
I think that would be one of those crimes that happen that don't get sealed.
I have no idea. And it's very odd. So I guess, she's just like wanting everyone to know that, not only is it he had POS over here, but he's also POS over here and over there. But it is strange that they got sealed.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's time these abusers get made known.
Like why let it's definitely something
more, maybe even on a live one. Exactly.
On, but Moody says it's saying that Gino also talks about how does even warn to be smacked, etc., when his wife has a history of being physically abused.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what we kept bringing up whenever Keanu made the point that she couldn't be on the show anymore with Aaron because she had spoken to April at the time. This was last October. And April had told her whatever about, Aaron getting physical. And she was like, that was it for me. That was, I could not go back on the show. I heard everything I needed to hear from April. And then like a day later, Gina was talking about April, hadn't gotten hit hard enough. And Keanu's in the background like, stop. And I'm like, all right, cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not commenting on April anymore. But again, I know more than you know. And that's all I'm gonna say. So sorry if that's not good enough for you. But go ahead and keep hating on Kiki. I love it. I love it. You're wrong. You are wrong. And it sucks that you twist yourselves into knots to just make anything I do give you the ick. You give me the ick. So
I don't know. We had talked about this off here, and it's just like my brain can't get around all of it. Like I can't get around holding those two things in your head at once. Like I'm super pissed if like that happened to me and then my husband was going around doing this, or my friend, or I'm hearing this about my friend. I wouldn't go back and be like, oh, I'm gonna be with their alleged abuser or befriend them.
Gino knows. Okay. Gino knows exactly what fucking happened to me, and he knows exactly what fucking has happened with others as well. Okay. And you'd have to ask him why he said it, but I understand it. There's a reason that people don't oftentimes believe women. And it fucking sucks. But look what you two are doing right now. Why now, Kiki? Why now come out with this now? Well, bitches, I've talked about it before. It's not an easy thing to fucking talk about. I can't speak for Gino. If he were here, he would tell you exactly. But that is the kindest man that would never fucking harm anyone. And it fucking sucks what happens, okay? Are we all right? Are we all right, ladies? Are we okay?
Or things
like that. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense. But I don't know.
No, you don't
know how to say it. Like, but we don't know everything too.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Those court records are like that was used to get an HRO.
Mm-hmm. And was the
me
specific
coming out
reason
with
that Keanu said that she could not be seen on screen with him anymore. So it's like, what do you like? Stand on something. None of that meant anything.
Yeah.
Was that all? I mean, Anyway, let's get off her, please.
Okay. Let's get off her.
Like all the other men.
The problem with anything Aaron says here, even if true, that April lied.
Do you hear what she just said?
Anyway, let's get off her, please.
Okay.
Like all the other men.
That's nice. What a nice thing to say. You slut-shaming fucking hillbilly. You're gross. You have shown your true colors. And sorry that what happened to me doesn't fit into your narrative to, for your silly, stupid podcast about Toe. Congratulations. You look like an asshole.